please. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today, and so happy Monday. Good, good. The market definitely seemed like it had a case of the Mondays today, so it was just another grinder, right? But there's a couple moves today. We found a couple trades. Sometimes you got to wait all day for a trade. We'll take a look at that when we look at the futures here in a little bit. But today, guys, we're going to be continuing this series from last week, right? We had fun tracking Tesla's count last week, but we really didn't get much of a move, right? We had a nice pullback on Friday, but we weren't necessarily expecting that, but it also didn't surprise us either. So we'll take a look at that, and let's just kind of follow through it this week and see if we get any more action off of it and see where we go from there. So anyway, guys, yeah, so this week's series, again, we're going to say, let's keep tracking Tesla. So some good stuff there. Before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off in the market today. And then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening and what might be setting up going into tomorrow. And then we'll go through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right. So SPX, guys, down about 4 points today. Monthly chart's still green. Weekly chart, brand new week started this week, right? So you can see we got this really tight inside week right now after last week's hammer candle. Still hanging in there. McClellan oscillator still over minus 100, so we're not really necessarily in crash territory, but we are getting a lot of overbought signals here over the last couple of weeks. So we're just kind of up and down. So it's like hard to say. It's like, oh, we had bearish divergence. Oh, we had bearish divergence. Oh, we had bearish divergence. Right? So it's like every week is bearish divergence. It's like keep an eye on this McClellan oscillator and we'll look for some price action setup, see if anything makes sense. And of course, ultimately, we want to look at the trend line to see if things are really going to break down. In the meantime, SPX still holding the ADMA, right? The 8 exponential moving average, right? So, and really just kind of a choppy range. We've been pretty range bound for a while. Now, we did get a move on Friday to fresh all-time highs off of a nice candle, and then we just didn't get any follow through. And today we kind of pushed out a little bit, came up, back up again, and now we're just a little bit more chopped. So when we go to the Elliott wave count, it's hard for me to really believe that we're in an impulsive wave, right? So it's just not going, right? I mean, here we kind of had this maybe this A, B, C type move, this 1, 2. I mean, it's like maybe this is 3, triangle 4, wave 5, right? We'll see. I mean, if we get some bullish price action tomorrow, maybe, right? But this is actually kind of starting to look like an ending diagonal right here, right? So it's got that rising wedge-ish type look to it, right? This could kind of be really a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish type move. If we start to break down below here, this thing could really get going to the downside again, right? So it's a big one, but we saw one here previously where you kind of that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 where everything overlaps, and then you get a nice down move, right? So let's see if that's the case here with SPX, and we'll just keep an eye on the price action as we go through this week. So it's cool stuff there. Let's take a look at the price action using the futures here. So let's see what the futures are up to here this evening. So again, it was not an all-time high day today. We kept on rejecting the high stay. It was really kind of an interesting night last night. Things were generally, kind of bearish, right? We talked about it last night here on the Elliott Wave Show here on YouTube. And one of the big things that we saw, right, was the live while we were here is the breakdown of the geometric line here and the breakdown of the geometric line here with some momentum, right? And that brought us down to like minus 15 points or so. And then, after the show, like things started to grind their way up. And then we had the 2 o'clock, right? The European Open. This is the overnight drift time. And we had a big push to the upside right here, right? So we love when that happens. Statistically, this happens a lot, right? They tend to buy this thing up. And then now the question is whether or not it goes or not. Big upper shut off that kind of is what it is. And then we just got really, really tight, and it started to look like a triangle going into this morning, and we just stayed within that triangle for the majority of the day. And then we broke out, right? We broke out of the triangle, but we broke out. There was no volume. Right now, we like to look at the 5-minute chart for volume. The first candle, right, was decent, right? 33,000 contracts. The next candle was 42,000 contracts. That's pretty impressive. We thought it was going to be a day today. And then it just dried up, right? We're down to like 10,000 contracts, 4,000. It was like trading at night. Look at this one right here. 1,700 contracts during the day, right? It's no volume, right? So the breakout that we had today was like interesting, but it was like it's hard to believe it was going to keep going because there's no volume in it. And then we got this guy, right? So then we had a little bit of volume, not a lot, but relative volume, right? We had 12,000 contracts, and that kind of got us on the bearish radar here today. We had one more retrace back up, and then this got exciting here into the end of the day. This is where we got short. So sometimes it takes all day to find a setup. I wasn't comfortable trading this breakout because of the low volume, but I was liking the rejection of this level, and one more test up here, and then a nice red candle, and then down. Right, so that gives us a good opportunity into the close. And sometimes you got to wait all day for a trade. And it is what it is. So, so cool stuff there. Anyway, guys, so let's do it. Let's go. Let's keep looking at Tesla. So we're gonna keep tracking the Tesla count. Anybody who's joining in for the first time here this week, last week, if you check out our series here on YouTube, just go to my channel and check out last week's series. We covered the Elliott wave count on Tesla, but it really didn't get going, right? So this week we're going to continue to track. We're going to track it one more time and see if it's got anything going on it, right? So let's just keep an eye on it. Let's go to the Tesla wave count and just review where we left off last week. And what we had is a couple different possibilities, right? So last night Paul pointed out a weekly triangle, right, on Tesla. And so it definitely looked pretty legit, right? So so if we go here, or if we go to the triangle, he's looking at that weekly triangle. It looks pretty good, right? Kind of this A, B, C, D. So if Tesla really does start to flush, we can assume that it's working on this wave E, and then the triangle is probably legitimate. But we have another wave count on this one, and this is the one that we've been definitely tracking here, and we talked about this last week. And we've been just kind of looking at the potential bullishness. Why do we like this? Because it played out so well with this last drop as a zigzag, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, a zigzag is a 5, 3, 5 Elliott wave move. So you have 5, ABC up, wave 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we got wave down. So that was the end of the zigzag right here. So once that's done, right, we can kind of start to assume that we're starting a fresh wave, right? And one of the cool things about this is that we're actually kind of channeling up right here, right? So we've got a couple different channels on here. But one of the things we could do is, we could look at the overshoot right here if we want to, however you want to do it. But we can kind of, however you want to kind of do it, right? One of the ways we like to do is this. Just look for the next intersect here, right? So if we go with this one, we can actually go up here. So we're basically channeling up, right? So it's somewhat impulsive, right? It's not a great angle, but it's looking okay. And then we zoomed in here, right? We try to get a sub wave count on this one, because what we could do is we could look at this. We go, hey, this is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is a wave 3, and we thought going into Friday that we were a wave 4 triangle. But we also said there's a possibility it still could be an ABC, and it looks like it was working on the ABC right here. Now, what's interesting about this, right, is that we want to, and I like how we filled the gap on Friday too. I believe we did, right? So 97.53 and Friday's low. No, we actually, the gap is still open right here. So 10 cents. There's 10 cents of a gap right there. So, so let's see what it has in store. This could be the ABC, and we could be starting a fresh wave up. So if things are bullish tomorrow on Tesla, we can assume that the impulsive wave is going. But it's also possible it's kind of like a 1-2, right? So we would expect a 5 wave down, right? So 3, 3, 5, right? So what we could do is we can go kind of the smaller time frames and just kind of take a look and see. Let's see what the hourly is saying right here. So so here you can kind of look at this ABC down, ABC up, and this kind of looks like a 1, 2, 1, 2. So it could be a 1, 2, 1, 2 on the way down. So if things get bearish on Tesla, it doesn't mean that we're necessarily in that triangle. We could actually be working on the wave C and then get going to the upside. So we've got kind of 3 different things that we're looking at, right? We're looking at a possible really bearish move on the larger triangle. We're looking for a possible short-term bearish move to finish up this wave 4, or maybe wave 4 is in and we're looking for an impulsive wave up, right? So I think tomorrow's price action will start to get kind of telling, and then we'll track that throughout the week and see which way this one goes. So good stuff there, guys. At this point now, if anybody's got any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So let's see what we got out there. So Shirley sent a few in via email. Shirley, hope you're doing great out there. Let's take a look and see what we got. Let's see. You got mRNA on the radar. So again, this thing is just a monster, right? Literally. but big breakout candle today. Again, at this point now, just see if it continues to work its way up. Again, every pullback to the ADMA has been viable, right? So just get tight, move, tight, move, tight, move, tight, move. So let's see how it goes there again. Just like we said, it's just going crazy, even after earnings there. So coin, big move today, guys. Kathy had a lot of successful names today. We had a nice pause day up here on coin, and we've got earnings coming up on this one tomorrow after the close. So see if it gets a little bit of a last minute earnings run, then see where it goes from there. Roblox, big day today. We profiled this one last night, right? We had a channel, right? Started to break out right here, pulled back in, and Paul was like, this could be the next pullback to go, and it did. It had a really nice move today. He pointed that out in the Discord today, which is really cool. Beyond, I pointed this out on the in the game plan yesterday. I said if we could break over these levels right here, we could see some more upside on Beyond, and we did today. So that was a really nice move intraday on Beyond. So and it was it pretty much triggered right at the open. So again, over yesterday's highs, it gapped down a little bit, and then pushed over yesterday's highs and made a really nice move, right? So that's kind of what we expected off of that bullish engulfing candle after earnings, right? So get a little bit of follow through. Nice stuff there. And then Clove, the meme name. Let's see how this one's doing right here. So again, out of nowhere, right? So it's back again, right? So a little bit pushier with increased volume, might be trying to work on a little bit of an earnings run. Are we going to get this kind of crazy move again? Maybe, but probably not, right? We usually don't see that too often, right? The only one we really saw that out of, right, was GME, where it kind of did two crazy moves, right? So it gave you the initial, oh, no, this one gave three. Initial move, second move, and third move. But other than that, that was pretty much it, right? AMC, which one did that do? That only did like kind of one little move and then a crazy move right here. But the rest of them seemed to be kind of calmed down. But you never know. Anything could happen. So AMC, by the way, just so we could look at it, earnings after hours, they had a less of a loss than expected on earnings, kind of up a little bit, and they said they got a lot of cash, a lot of leverage available to stay in business. So I guess that's good for them. They got a little bit of a pop on that. So good stuff there. Nice, really great charts. Really appreciate it. And OTA sent a few via Twitter. So let's take a look at these right here. So we got Facebook. Let's take a look and see how that's doing right here. So Facebook just kind of a grinder. A lot of choppy days today, right? But it kind of looks okay, right? You kind of have this 1-2-ish type look to it, right? This could be like a 1, maybe 2, right? So one thing you can kind of do is just track this one and see how it handles the 618 here, right off this that 355 level, and see how that holds. Twitter. Let's take a look. Twitter is looking really grindy right here, right? So it's finding a lot of resistance right off this level, right? So again, kind of like this double topish type look to it, right? This is also looking kind of like an M pattern, right? So a little bit of caution there on Twitter. Just see how it holds the 50-day moving average. And Zoom, let's take a look at Zumba here. So Zumba's trying, right? It's still on the radar, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. So again, it's holding the 80 MA. Let's see if it can pop again here on Zoom. So good stuff there. Armando, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look and see what you got. You got Bank of America on the radar. Let's see. Yeah, banks again still strong here today. We talked about them last night. Give a little bit of a gap down and then a push back up today. It's sitting right on a thin cloud, so let's see if we continue to go. Again, these banks have been a little bit odd recently, but we'll see how they go. Overstock, hanging in there. It's actually holding on to some interesting support levels right here. So let's see if they can continue to work its way up here, right back to the 80 MA on that one. Google, again, big move on Google. Well, reasonable move on Google today, right? It doesn't look like much here on the daily chart, but on the intraday it had a huge spike, right? So it got really, really tight and then pushed, and then it kind of gave you this candle on the intraday. So see if it goes. Might try to work its way back up to all-time highs, but a nice move there. Good stuff. The area, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, let's take a look at NEO. So NEO again with a decent recovery day today, inside day. Right? Paul had this kind of on the bullish radar here. May have finished an ABC, can kind of be working on a 1-2. We got earnings coming up this week on NEO, so that's actually Wednesday after the close. So keep an eye on that one and see how that goes into there. But they might try to run it up a little bit before earnings. So BITF Bitfarms, isn't that interesting? So it's pretty cool stuff right there. This thing is just continue to gap and grind its way up right here. I'm not a huge fan of this candle, big red candle with an upper shadow. It's about up a little bit after hours right here, but watch if it breaks down below today's lows. It might want to see a little more downside, so a little bit of caution there. Chris, what's going on? Good to see you. Price ranges to look at for tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, one thing you guys can see right here in my upper left-hand corner is the ATR, right? So ranges is that's your average true range, right? So if you go to, depending on what you want to look at, right, you can go to SPX, right? So SPX, the average true range right now is 30 points, right? So, but we've been getting some kind of narrow range days, right? But this is the average, right? So we're below average right now. We only did like 14 points today on SPX. So, but generally the expected moves are there. The other thing you can do is you can look at your straddle prices, right? So if you go to SPX straddle prices, I'm not going to pull it up right here, but I can pull it up from my other window. Straddle prices right now, we're looking at a market maker projected move of about 26 points. Right, about 26 points going into tomorrow. So if you take your at the monies and you add them up, they're about like $23, $26, depending on what your spread is. And so yeah, so that's about right, about 30 points. So I figure about 26 points, see how it goes. But again, it's a choppy week, so we may see another chopper, right? That's a possibility as well. So good stuff. Let's take a look at Christopher. What's going on? So Caterpillar. Yeah, so Caterpillar, it's kind of on the bullish radar going into today. I like how they bought the dip off of it, right? So it kind of gapped down off of yesterday's rough candle, right? And then they had a nice dip buy on it. So I think it's looking okay. I still like this one. It's from the radar from last night. It's getting tight. Still could be kind of like that 1-2 range and start to work its way up, right? If you go here to the hourly chart, it looks good, right? So let's see if we continue to push up and get over today's highs and get over a couple of these levels and maybe work its way up to the 50-day. So let's keep an eye on that for Caterpillar. John, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. John Turner. Let's take a look. You got PD on the radar. Let's see. So PD. Doji at the 80 MA, right? So see how that holds right there. Trip, again, this was Paul kind of liked this one yesterday. I was like, maybe, but it did pull back here under the 80 MA. It kind of just dropped at the open right here. So I don't like how it took out this level right here. It kind of invalidates the count that he was looking at. So just kind of see how it goes so you get some bullish price action out of that. And then you got Loco. Let's take a look. Loco with a big inside day today. See if that break to the upside. You got wow on the radar, back on the radar. Let's see. Ooh, nasty. I think it was done off of that one. So maybe, just maybe, that was it, right? With the ending diagonal up here that we've been tracking for a while on this one. But it got strong, and then boom, breakdown here with increased volume. So yeah, nasty candle on the wow. Vizio, let's take a look. Super duper choppy right here, and Apple super duper choppy here so far, but getting really, really tight, guys. Again, we had an inside week last week. We're a double inside week right now, right? And just getting really, really tight. This is looking like a triangle right now, right? So again, trend box getting tight. Let's see if we can push to the upside, break over today's highs, and kind of get going again, right? So that's kind of the big deal that we're waiting there for Apple. But it could break down too, so keep an eye on that one as well. The area MVST, let's take a look. Let's see how this one's right. Yeah, MVST, another big pusher right here, right? So kind of a pause date and then up again off of that red candle, which is pretty wild. And Krishna, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, so AMD, guys, this was from last night. Paul put this on the bearish radar of the Elliott wave count, and look at that big pullback here today to the 80 MA, and actually closed below it. So we'll see, right, if that continues more downside, right? Remember, it could a zigzag is a 535, right? So look for a 5 wave count on that one. Snap. Let's take a look. Snap kind of hanging in there. Nice bounce off the 80 MA on that one here today. So let's see if we can kind of break out those levels that we pointed out there after its last move. PG, super duper tight inside day here to the 80 MA. CRM. CRM tricky, right? But a nice pop a couple days ago. So it could be consolidating here a little bit. Might be working on a little bit of a, like a pennant or something like that. Let's see if we can consolidate a little bit more. And then SWBI getting really tight here as well. So let's see if it's getting ready to move one way or the other off of this inside day. But good stuff. Yeah, my pleasure. And then the NAS, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, let's look at MIT-K. Big inside day here. Again, could be that flag type pattern. So let's see if that gets any follow through and possible break to the upside. The joint. Great candle the other day. Kind of a typical pause-ish type candle here today. So see if we can get over today's highs and keep going. PLTR, again, decent break there over that last level with increased volume. So maybe it's going to try to do a little bit of a run up into earnings, Chris. And thanks for tuning in. And DD, let's take a look. So DD, again, just still chopping right here back below the 80 MA. And Shreya, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at EXPI. EXPI, again, woo, look at that one. Still grinding its way up right here. Very, very strong move. John, Etsy, let's take a look. Etsy with the inside day, outside day, right? So let's see if we can get some direction off the outside day. A break to the upside, could see some more follow through and get through that cloud. To the downside, watch out, it could be a bear flag, right? So a little bit of caution there. And true, you also got DOCN on the radar. Kind of rough off of yesterday's candle or Friday's candle. See if it breaks down below today's lows. You might want to see the 50-day moving average and then see how that holds. The big C, again, big inside day here. Hold on to the cloud here so far. ONDS. Nice push today, but not a lot of volume, so not super duper exciting, but could be interesting. I like the bullish price action. And Sage, the Nest, let's see, decent push there, but kind of an upper shot, a little bit sketchy on that one. SMG, decent, right? A lot of the pot names were strong today. So let's see if if the pot names get going, maybe this could kind of follow in tandem a little bit here too. It would be kind of nice. And Chris, the Tesla price range. Well, it all depends, right? You know, we never know for sure, right? But we got 22.5 is the average true range of Tesla. And if we look at Tesla on the on its market maker expected move, we're looking at about 26 points at least on the weekly options, right? So it's about 26 points on Tesla. So good stuff there. Yeah, thanks for clarifying that. Really appreciate it. And John Turner, you got NUE on the radar. Got a little bit of Nucor, the safest name in steel. So we've got Nucor up a couple points right here. Good breakout. Metals were strong today, guys. I like X on the radar today, but a nice inside day up here on Nucor. Good looking there. And yeah, John, my pleasure. Thanks so much for tuning in. And Chris, yeah, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And all right, guys, well, great show tonight. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's keep an eye on Tesla this week, see if it's ready to move, see if it can actually follow a wave count here for us, and give us some clues. So we got like 3 different possibilities on Tesla going in tomorrow, and tomorrow's price action could be pretty important. So again, for me, I really to get bullish on Tesla. I really want them to resolve their Tesla plaid spontaneous meltdown. But until then, I'm not really confident in it. But you never know; it can still do whatever it wants. I mean, don't forget, guys. Boeing not only had their issues with the 737 Max, but they kept on having issues with the FAA afterward, and it still went up. Right? So we got that going. Michael Phillips, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look. You got SOS on the radar. Nice gap up with a red candle here today, and just kind of chopping around a little bit after hours. NVAX, big push here today too. Look at that thing gapping all over the place, so crazy. Pfizer has just been epic, just continue to work its way up. I guess if you make a vaccine, you finally start to reap some rewards on that. VSCO, decent push on that one too. Watch see if we can break above today's highs. And AXSM with with a nasty gap down on that. It was one of your crazy biotech ones, but a nice drop to the downside right there. I don't know when they're going to buy the dip on that one. So, but that, I guess sometimes that makes these crazy names fun. But anyway, guys, good stuff. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys bright and early right here on YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And until then, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first.